When I first came here, I was 100% positive that I would be dealing with all homeless people, that all of them would be alcoholics and drug addicts. But from a distance, we make a lot of assumptions that up close tend to fall away. Everybody that you see on the streets is not homeless because of something they did. We have to be careful when we meet someone coming through the door that we don't stigmatize that way. I struggled off and on with drug addiction, homelessness. One day when I was 40 years old, I found myself in a situation that was untenable. I couldn't take it anymore. And that's when God revealed himself to me. And that moment changed everything in my life. And from that point forward, I felt this call that the same thing that I had been delivered from was what God was going to push me back into to begin to pull people out. I facilitate a ministry we call Retreat from the Street. And there's 2,000 men that wander these streets all day, every day with nowhere to go. And all I want to do is open the back door and put a pot of coffee on the counter, invite people in and see what God will do in the middle of it. You never know who that person is that you're shaking hands with at that point in time. We started with 5 guys that were sleeping on our property that I would wake up every morning and say, come get some coffee. Some days now we have 250, 300 people a day.
So, go ahead. What does he say? You are that man.
We do breakfast in the morning. We have prayer and Bible study. We do a lunch at midday. We do a clothing closet. And then have a little personal time. We'll talk about the struggles of what it means to get from where you are back to where you want to be, and how does that process happen.
And he said to Nathan, as the Lord lives.
I come in just to get some coffee and some dances and hang out, and I decided to stay for the Bible study. That Bible study, just a light turned on. And so I continued to come to Retreat from the Street. It's been a great journey. And, it's not over. I'm just getting started.
Many, many have returned to be reconciled with children and with ex-wives, with mothers and fathers, to be welcomed back into the home, to go back to work, to become productive again. Because they found a place of community, everything else spun out of that. So I met Vesta in a parking lot where she lived a couple years ago, and I kept challenging her once I got to know her. Are you happy? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you through yet?
I was tired, of course worn out. You know, walking a 4-block radius and can't get out of it and don't know how to get out of it, and somebody come to you, I don't understand, ask you, do you want to stop living the way you're living?
She came here for food and she came here for coffee.
When I first came, it was just retreat. But then I started going to the women's Bible study. I never just really felt comfortable being around, you know, a bunch of women. But these women was all right. Where I am today is like, it's amazing to me. It really is, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
She spent 5 years living on the streets, living a life that was just a mess, and it's all 180 degrees from where it was.
All I can say is Retreat is the best thing going. That's all I can say.
Every day, as you can imagine, the needs are pretty large for clean clothing, toiletry items, toothbrush and toothpaste. The simple things that we have in our house and run down to the store and get, when you don't have any money, they become a little more difficult to achieve. People call me Pastor this and Rev that, and I say, please don't. My name's Gary, and there's nothing different between us, and let's start there.